Well, one of the biggest KSR events of the year. Hello, everyone, and welcome to live coverage of the 20th running. Of course, coinciding with the real Indy 500 that we have this weekend. We have the KSR Indy 500 this weekend, a one-off event and part of the KSR Triple Crown. And it really should be an exciting event. The driver presentation does take place very shortly. The race gets underway at 8 PM. I think it should be an interesting one. In the biggest event of the year, well, not exactly the biggest, but it is one of the biggest events, along with, it's a one-off event along with like the KSR 24 Hours of Le Mans, and as well as part of the Triple Crown, as well as the CRC Monaco Grand Prix, which took place last week. But we are almost ready for the parade of the drivers. And there's a carnival atmosphere that we have here today at Indianapolis, of course, with the preparation for the real Indy 500. There is a real carnival atmosphere. Okay. We're just getting ready for the parade of where all the drivers in real Indy 500 style will be getting onto the podium to have their moment in the spotlight in preparation for an important race that they're going to be taking part in here today. The music is getting underway. And we are almost ready for where they're all going to go. We've got 3 minutes to go till... And this moment for a driver, it's just so big. Because this event, as it's a one-off event, but so big. We have so many CRC drivers coming on. But if, say, a young driver, say a midfield CRC driver, or a CGP2 driver, can take the win. Of course, oval racing is a very different kettle of fish to the actual CRC racing, obviously, round the street tracks and normal tracks that they race on, like Spa, Monaco. It's very different, but it can get you a lot of attention if you can take into consideration that there are you have to be bold with your overtaking round oval racing. We've got 28 minutes to go till we get underway. And good touch for the music that's been chosen for the parade here at Indianapolis. Of course, the 20th running of the event. Of course, we've seen a lot of drive, and also because with the history of this event, a lot of the young drivers who won this event have gone on to do good things. Of course, we saw Will Essley win this event in 2008, and this was before he'd really bursted onto the CRC scene. And look where he's come. We saw Matt Coombs win the event in 2010. Look where he's come. We saw Chantal Hawke win the event in 2009. Look where she's come. So, a fantastic history for many of these drivers, that if, say, we see a young driver, or no, not sure why I class them as young, but that's why, because they are around the same age as the normal drivers, but they usually class upcoming drivers as young drivers. That seems to be the phrase. But if like an upcoming driver, say someone like Lucas Quintanilla or Rosie O'Driscoll or Abby Ledger or someone like Phoebe O'Connor or someone like that wins the race, or even a CGP2 driver or a CGP3 driver like Joey Vrolick or Connie Campbell or James Wimberley, if they take the win today, it could really bode well for their careers. Because there are some drivers who seem to struggle around normal tracks but are really good around oval tracks, like you see Joe Lockie up there. I mean, he was on the front row in last year's race, but he just faded away through a lot of it. Of course, last year was quite an exciting event. We saw Amelia Wise take a thrilling win in last year's race. Of course, it's her swan song. She's on pole this day, but I believe it is now time for the Drivers' Parade. It is about to be time for the Drivers' Parade here at Indianapolis. Here we go.
Hello everyone and welcome to the greatest spectacle in KSR racing. Here we present to you the starting lineup for today's big race.
Okay, so they're about to do the parade.
On the back row, on the outside, popular CRC driver Will Bucket. In the middle of the back row, Bahraini driver Sid Kamur. And on the inside, 2015 CGP2 champion Phoebe O'Connor. On the 10th row, on the outside, CRC race winner Harvey Williams. In the middle of row 10 is CGP2 driver Marco Ifos. And on the inside, now current CGP2 driver Joey Vrolick. On the outside of row 9 is current KSR FE8 driver Kieran Wigglesworth. On the middle of row 9 is none other than reigning CRC champion Will Esley.
Of course, big reception for the reigning champion.
And on the inside of row 9,
CRC.
current KSR Formula E and former CRC driver James Bell. On the outside of row 8, 2013 Costa Rican Collins champion Matt Coombs. On the middle of row 8, current CGP2 and former iRacing driver James Chandler. And on the inside of row 7, James Wimberley. On the outside of row 7, CGP2 driver Jade Oaks. On the middle of row 7, Tom Farrow Smith. On the inside of row 7, an experienced driver who came oh so close to winning the CRC title in both 2007 and 2012, Matt Tucson. On the outside of row 6, CRC race winner Hannah Duran. On the middle of row 6, Tom Mungle. And on the inside of row 6, current CRC rookie sensation, Rosie O'Driscoll. On the outside of row 5, none other than 2011 Costa Rican Collins champion, Kieran Hardy. On the middle of row 5, David Bland. And on the inside of row 5, competitive CRC driver Lucy Woodward. On the outside of row 4, Luke Julian. On the middle of row 4, none other than 2014 Costa Rican Collins champion who won in such thrilling circumstances, Chantel Hawk.
Of course, great reception for Chantal Hawk.
And on the inside of row 4, Connie Campbell. On the outside of row 3, CRC rookie sensation, Abby Leggett. On the middle of row 3, competitive CRC driver, Brazilian Lucas Quintanilha. On the inside of row 3, former CRC driver and current KSR Formula E driver, Holly Steele. On the outside of row 2, experienced CRC driver, Jack Baldwin. On the middle of row 2, Sri Lankan Max Wandragala. And on the inside of row 2, the youngest driver in the field today, Jessie Jane McFarland. On the outside of the front row, Ben Blakemore. On the middle of the front row, he's quite handy at oval racing, Joe Lockey. And on the inside with the pole, in her last ever KSR race, let's hope it's a good one for her, 2008 and 2009 Costa Rican Collins champion, Amelia Wise.
Of course, great reception for Amelia Wise, who's obviously in her last ever KSR race.
And that is the field for the 2016 KSR Indy 500.
And of course, that is the driver's parade for as the fanfare field continues to rock around this place. Such a vibrant atmosphere. 20 minutes to go until they go on the green flag lap. Of course, different to most KSR events. Of course, this is a rolling start IndyCar style. This is going to be a rolling start. But it is going to be very interesting. And this is a driver's chance to really get their career underway. A lot of, as I mentioned before, a lot of great history with winners of this event. A lot of great history. With all the winners of this event that have won this event and gone on to do great things at the top flight. For example, Will Esley, Matt Coombs, Chantal Hawk. They all won this race before they got their CRC career properly underway. And then look where they've become. This could be... I suggest that you do brace yourself for this, because I think this could be a really good one. We could see a lot of action, a lot of cautions throughout today's race. Basically the IndyCar version of a safety car. In this absolute fanfare atmosphere, of course, with the real Indy 500. Good to see people are watching. Are tuning in to watch. We've got 50 minutes to go. Everyone's on the grid. Everyone is on the grid here today. Now, with all the 33 drivers that will start today's race, and we're hearing it's going to be two drivers side by side after we saw 5 cars get taken out at the first corner here last year. We often see an instance at the first corner. We saw 5 cars get taken out last year when they were doing it 3-way. We saw 4 cars the year before, 2 cars the year before that. So that's why they put it in. So the fanfare announcement has maybe announced if it's going to be rows of 3, but it's going to be rows of 2 for today's race. And of course, the reason for that is to make sure that more drivers obviously survive the first corner, because they're all obviously approaching. Obviously with the rolling start, they're all obviously approaching. They're all obviously approaching at quite a high speed. They're obviously approaching at around 200 miles an hour, and of course if you get like 5 cars into one, that's always going to end one. If it's near the front, then that instant can multiply so easily with the drivers going at the speeds that they're going at. It can all multiply so easily. As we're waiting, they're about to do the national anthem here in America at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then of course we will have the wait for the start your engine, the classic start your engines signal. They've got 200 laps to do round the oval here today, round the oval. But at the moment, predictions for the win, I think there are at least 10 drivers. We need to watch so many, because people think when Wilesi didn't qualify well, who don't know the history of this race, of Wilesi around this race, saying he's not very good at ovals. He's won this race twice. He won this race in 2008, and he won this race in 2013. So he's not too shabby at the ovals. Just yesterday he had quite a tough qualifying session where he struggled with traffic and then problems with the car. Hopefully they're going to be sorted out here today. But we're now just waiting for the national anthem.
Please stand for the national anthem of America.
Of course, the crowd absolutely loving that. We're almost ready for what should be a classic. For what should be a classic KSR Indy 500 here today. This should be a classic one. 200 laps. You got 200 laps, of course, around the oval. Hopefully 200 laps full of action. And of course this is not the only event of KSR racing that we do have this weekend. We have we have, of course, the KSR Formula E season coming to a close this weekend with the double header. We have the first race on, obviously with qualifying as well, taking place tomorrow, and the second race taking place on Sunday. But we're almost ready. Here we've got around 10 minutes to go before we get underway. We get proceedings underway. We have the start your engine signal, which will obviously take place. And I personally think this should be an interesting one. We are almost set for what should be an interesting race. I'll be right back, then it will be almost time. We're almost ready. Of course, the start your engine signal should come at 19:58 UK time. We're almost ready. We've got not long to go now. I think this should be an interesting race here today. They're just getting the game put in place. The 33 drivers that will line up on the grid for today's big race. Before the signal comes on. So, to reiterate what the grid, how they're going to line up. For today's big race. We should have the signal coming up. We're not actually sure. They're just getting everything ready. On pole position we have Amelia Wise. In second on the grid we have Joe Lockie. Third it is Ben Blakemore. In fourth on the grid we have Jessie Jane McParland. Fifth on the grid we have Max Munzagala. Sixth on the grid we have Jack Baldwin. Seventh on the grid it's Holly Steele in the Kingfisher, who entered just a single Kingfisher car here today. Eighth it's Lucas Quincy, obviously in the KC racing car. Only was announced as an entry like last week, but fancy his chances. Abby Ledger is next in 9th. In 10th on the grid we have Connie Campbell. In 11th on the grid we have Chantel Hawke. In 12th on the grid we have Luke Julian. In 13th on the grid we have Lucy Woodward. In 14th on the grid we have David Bland. 15th on the grid we have Kieran Hardy. In 16th it is Rosie O'Driscoll. In 17th Tom Mungle. 18th it's Hannah Duran. 19th it is Matthew Towson. And in 20th Tom Farrow Smith. In 21st Jade Oakes in the Dork Run car, Diadora racing car. In 22nd James Wimberley in the Entity. In 23rd James Chandler in the that's actually a mixed entry between Dork and JPM. They have both entered him, his former iRacing team and his current CGP2 junior team, or he's a junior for Dork. 24th it is Matt Coombs in the Fame racing car. In 25th it is James Bell in the JPM. In 26th it is Will Essie in a car that he's running himself, with obviously a few of his mates helping. Kieran Wigglesworth in the Rollick Racing entry, ahead of Joey Rollick in the Entity Motorsports. In 29th it is Marco Ifos in the SBN entry. In 30th it is Harvey Williams in the Manic Motorsports entry. We're almost set for the signal. In 21st it is Phoebe O'Connor in the Alibi Racing entry. In 32nd, it is Sid Kuma in the Frolic Racing entry. And in 33rd, it is Will Buchan in the SBN entry. So, they're just making sure everything is as it should be with the 200 lap race. And the tension is building. And the signal is about to come. Here we are ready for the signal to start the 20th KSR Indy 500.
Drivers, start your engines.
And the crowd loving that as we're now going to move forward into the race. As here we go, we have the safety car, which is actually going to be an orange car, which actually does look a little bit like Wesley's car. They are about to get underway on the green flag lap here at Indianapolis. Just getting all the... So, they are underway. The green flag lap is underway here at Indianapolis. Of course, they've all got away without any problems here. Of course, they will be rounding, I believe they'll be rounding the track twice before they get underway. A field of 33 drivers. So, I mean, but it's going to be very interesting. I think my bet for the win, Lucas Quintanilla. I think he does have a good chance here today. Of course, the pace car will continue round another lap for the... because it's obviously a short run. So they're halfway round, ready for the 20th KSR Indy 500. A colourful grid that we have here today. Of course, don't forget you can follow the race as it happens. You can follow your favourite driver at ksrmotorsport.liveracers.com. ksrmotorsport.liveracers.com, which is where we are going to have the live timing. Got 200 laps for the drivers to do round the Theatre of Speed. Just here we go. And it's called the Indy 500 because it's 500 kilometers, not because it's 500 laps. Interesting fact, as iFoz F1 puts in the comments section. But anyway, here we go. They're now heading round for the final time that I'm pretty sure the adrenaline is starting to build. We've got, I think they've only got a corner to go until the safe pace car is going to peel in. This is the final corner. But the question is this 2x2 formation gonna work here today? So, the safety car comes in. And The drivers are on the throttle now. The 20th KSR Indy 500 is green now. We're underway. It's Wise who has the lead as they head into the first corner for the first time. Lockie's going to try to get around the outside. Are they all going to get through safely? Looks like they are all very clean so far. A very clean start. But Lockie, I think, is going to have the lead. McParland's going to try it around the outside. Why? That's just a typical overtaker. Round ovals. Is McParland going to take the lead? What a thrilling start that we have had here at Indianapolis. So far, all 30 cars in the race. But, oh, we've got contact at the back. I'm not sure who that is. That is Marco Ifos getting into a little bit of strife at the back. But nothing too major. They're all drafting each other as they head up towards turn 1. Lockie has the lead at the moment. Quintanilla ran it. Wise has dropped all the way back to 5th. The start really did not go to plan for her. But here, you've got McParland, who's going to try to get past Joe Lockie in the Rollick Tove racing car. But a very... I mean, we did have a bit of strife at the back of the field. He got... I think that was Hannah Duran going for quite a banzai move down the inside of Tom Mungo and going very slow off the exit. But they're all just jostling for position, as this is usual with the KSR Indy 500. As there you've got Jack Bowen, who's going to try it around the outside of McParland. But that's going to lose him momentum and is now going to allow Quintanilla through. As McParland going to try it around the inside of Tom Mungo. Not Tom Mungo, Joe Lockie. They're all still running here today in this race. But Lockie seems to be struggling for speed a little bit here. Well, let's see. Oh, we got yellow. Oh, we got contact. That will probably be our first caution of the race. We got absolute carnage. Oh, that will definitely be a caution. Absolute carnage here at... That is... not what we want to see. That is, I think that's Kieran. Marco Ethos has been taken out. Abby Leggett's taken out. Oh, that is 6 cars have been taken out in all of that. And McParland's going to try it down the inside, but they've got to back off for the full course yellow. That was a big pile-up. What went down there? Oh, no! And this is not what we want to see. I don't know what Matt Coombs thought he was doing there. And this is going to eliminate quite a few cars from contention. Matt Coombs, I don't know why they all get going from it. Pretty sure some cars were damaged. Matt Coombs just dithering about in the middle of the track. We've already lost 8 cars. But let's have a look at what actually happened. But that was a typical KSR Indy 500 pile-up. But in the lead, it's still Joe Lockie. But let's have a look. All 3, and not good for SBN, all 3 SBN cars have been taken out in one incident. But let's have a look at how this all started off. Because Leggett got taken out. Oh, it was Leggett who had a horrible incident, getting bashed round by Luke Julian into a roll, into the wall, and then collecting everyone behind. It all went off behind, but that is a typical Indy 500 pile-up. At the final corner. But a long caution period. Losing 8 cars in all of that kerfuffle. Phoebe O'Connor's fallen a lap down. Well, she's lost 2 of her wings, so, and you're not allowed to pit under safety cars, so they're going to have to stay out like that. That's going to really ruin their race. But let's have a look at the list of retirements. Out of the race, it is, we have lost Woodward, Farrow Smith, Coombs, Humer, Hardy, Ifos, Buchan and Leggett. 8 cars taken out in that one incident. Many cars are going round with a damaged car, and I think this could be quite a long caution period here today. They're just waiting for the debris to be cleared. I wonder when we're going to get this thing back underway. So let's piece together what's happened. So far it's Lockie that leads the way. This all happened at the back. So I mean, apart from when Coombs was dithering on the racing line, and that's what it caused. It was him that was just going really slowly. So he was, I don't know why he was going really slow. And then Wimberley, who was... And it was Wimberley who... was trying to make the move, who just slammed straight into the back of him, leaving Duran nowhere to go. Of course, this race is no stranger to major pileups. And eventually, actually, it looked worse than it actually was, that whole bit. We thought that more cars had been taken off, but it was really the first incident. As now the cars have been allowed into the pits. We've had 2 laps under safety car to get their cars repaired, and they're all going to be given time to catch to the back of the queue. They're all going to be given time to catch the back of the queue. So they are still in the race. Oh, Matthew Towson almost having an unsafe release there. Jade Oakes being held in the pits for such a long time. Same with Phoebe O'Connor, because those were the cars that took the biggest hits. And some drivers, and this could actually benefit them later in the race. So it's not all over for them. We could see one of those drivers make a surprise later on, because they're going to be on a completely different strategy. Still Oakes, Julian still in the pits. Essie coming out onto the track now. They're all going to be given time to catch up to the field. O'Connor's finally gone, but she might actually fall a lap down here. Julian's had a problem. So is Jade Oakes. They're all both out of the race. O'Connor gets going. So now we've lost a total of 10 cars from this race. Safety car in this lap. With the 23 remaining cars. Still a 190 laps still to go here. We're just awaiting. I wonder if Phoebe O'Connor is going to get to the back of the queue. But then we're going to be racing till the next caution. I'm not sure if Phoebe is actually going to... If Phoebe is actually going to be able to catch up to the field in time. The long list of retirements that we have. I think they're going for the final corner now. So the safety car's going to peel in. So, we're back underway. We're green again. We're green.
Green flag, go, go, go.
We're back underway here at Indianapolis. So, Lockie holds the lead as they head across the line into turn 1 for the first time. Back under green. Oh, we got a little bit of contact at the back end. Round. I'm not sure who that is. Round is gone. That was a green and white car. I think that might have been. I'm afraid I think that might have been James Wimberly. But here comes McParlin. Yeah, it was James Wimberly who went spinning. No need for a safety car. Here comes McParlin, who's going to try to get round the... Going to try really hard to get past Joe Lockie, who she's been stuck behind for a while. But she's got to be really careful because she's got Lucas Quintanilla for company. Lucas Quintanilla is going to try it around the outside. McParlin's going to risk it around the inside. That's not going to work because now she's going to lose momentum. And that's going to allow Quintanilla round the outside. And McParlin loses further momentum. She's losing further places. Of course, the youngest driver in the field. She's losing further places. And now Quintanilla's the one hounding Lockie. We have a lot of position changes down the field. There's the skid marks from the incident earlier on. Quintanilla has the fastest lap. Jack Baldwin getting involved as well. As Quinto is going to go for the inside. Going up towards, I believe, this... But that's not going to work because now Jack Baldwin's on the outside. That was so close to a massive accident there. Baldwin gets round the outside. That could have been a massive accident there. And now Baldwin is the one hounding Joe Lockie. He's soaking up pressure like a sponge so far here today. So, lap 13 of 200. We've seen a very action-packed first few laps so far. But now Baldwin's going to try it. He's got the slipstream. Surely this is going to be enough. But Joe, once again, is able to defend. Steele getting past McParlin. McParlin losing positions. Left, right, and centre. This is the thing about oval racing because it's so reliant on speed. If you back off, it can really put you off. And you really lose momentum. As here, you've got Baldwin's going to try it round the inside. Not quite going to be able to do it there. Hannah Duran's out of the race. We didn't see that. What happened to... We saw what happened to Wimby. I think that might be a technical issue. But the battle for the lead is still raging on. Raging on here. Here at Indy. Lap 15. Of course, you can see the live leaderboard to see what's going on. Of course, there's a lot going on behind. We need to focus on the battle for the lead. But still, Lockie's soaking up the pressure. It's going to be interesting when we come to the pit stops. "21 cars still running it. We lost 12. We lost 8 in that massive pile-up. As out of the pits, that is Will Essie who's decided. Or someone coming into the pits. It wasn't Will Essie. Not sure who that was. as Lockie defending from Baldwin. These two are the two leaders. Is Baldwin going to be able to have a look down the inside? Not quite. But he's still hanging in there. Baldwin sets the fastest lap of the race, of course, in the tow. Connie Campbell behind him. It's been a good race so far for the Manic Motorsports. James Chandler sets the fastest lap. There, behind here's Lucas Quintanilla and Jesse J. McParland battling it out. Lucas Quintanilla has lost out. As ahead, is that the lead? No, it isn't. That was Tom Mungle trying to get past Connie Campbell. But Joe Lockie doing a great job so far to be able to keep the lead. As McParland's going to have a look. It's not easy to overtake. You have to really risk, and McParland's risking it down the inside, going into turn 1, but is not quite able to do it. As here you've got, that was Steele and Bell battling it out, with Hawk involved as well, getting through down the inside of the pair of them. Wonder Gala trying to get through as well in this midfield battle. As Tucson trying to defend from O'Connor. Mungle trying to get through. I mean, of course, oval racing is very different, but winning this race can really do your career good. But it's going to be when the pit stops come into play. We're over it. We're now a 10th of the way through the race. Of course, it's taken a while because we have had quite a long caution. But I think Baldwin's just trying to just wait behind. As James Chandler getting round the outside of Tom Mungle. Jesse J. McParland involved as well. Rosie O'Driscoll's ahead. Lucas Quintanilla right behind Ben Blakemore. He's going to try to have the run down up towards turn number 3. Oh, so close to contact. Let's look at what happened to Hannah Duran. We've got a little bit of bet as soon as I look at this replay. I think she came together with James Wimberley. Now that was how it all happened. Wimberley had a technical issue. Duran got caught up in it all. Both Wimberley and Duran had technical issues off the restart. Let's see what the issue actually was with their cars. They both lost the engine. I think maybe their engine must have overheated under such a long caution period. But tell you who is coming strong. James Chandler. Watch him. This is of course his first ever KSR Indy 500. Watch him because he's got experience with iRacing Indy 500s run by KSR. With KSR involved. So he's got experience with iRacing events based around the Indy 500. So I think he could really come strong later in the race. Oh, that is Steele really cutting across behind on Tom Mungle. Going... Oh, very close to contact there. I think that was the penultimate corner. That's not where we saw the pile-up earlier. Now, this is where the pile-up happened earlier. This is probably the most difficult corner on the track because the curb's a little bit dodgy there. But I think Jack Baldwin's just waiting behind Joe Lockie, waiting for the fuel loads to go down. I mean, even though Lockie's trying to defend here, I think they're all waiting till the fuel loads go down. They're all setting fast laps as the fuel loads go down. I think we're around halfway through to the first. I'm not sure when we're set to see the first pit stop phase here today. It's still everyone now just biding their time. The remaining cars, I have to say. As now here you've got David Bland under pressure from Chantal Hawk, who won this event in 2009. These two are getting quite close for a move. But Hawk really having to back off there. And through goes James Bell. David Bland kind of cutting across a little bit there. There's Chandler trying to get past McPartlin, but McPartlin gets through. As Harvey Williams having a look. Few cars struggling at the back of the field. You've got Kieran Wigglesworth. Roy's really having to defend there. But Lockie leads the way at the moment in an ever-changing race. McPartlin's got away a little bit now from the likes of Chandler, Steele, Mungle. We're seeing a lot of the usual good drivers here struggling a little bit here. Like Joe Lockie's struggling for pace. I'm sure it's going to be the pit stop phase that Jack will be relying on. If he can go a lap longer, then he might stand a chance. Oh, getting very close. I think he's now starting to get desperate now. How long? He just doesn't want to risk it. Because one bad move, then that can be all that work that he's done to get to this event all over in an instant. Oh, Bowen getting loose, but still, he's got an exit. Off the corner, Wigglesworth losing time at the back of the field. But it's just going to be when we're going to have our next caution. Because it will happen at some point. Knowing what happens with the Indy 500 a lot of the time. It will happen at some point. When we're going to have the next caution. Especially when traffic comes into play. This is where a lot of it's kicking off. Well, Essie very much on his own at the back. Oh, that's Wigglesworth getting very out of shape. Somehow, everyone missing him. I think Wallessi's probably got a problem with his car. That's the only explanation for why he doesn't seem to be going at the pace. He goes onto the grass, and that is... And luckily, the cars behind are able to react. Thank God that all the other cars were able to react in time. So, lap 32. here at Indy. McParland behind O'Driscoll. Now you've got Joey Vrolick behind Maxim Tagala and Chantel Hawk. But since the caution, we have had some... The racing has been very clean. The drivers have been well behaved. We have seen a few instances of drivers moving across. Oh, it's all kicking off here. McParland losing momentum, having to back off. And Lucas Quintanilla trying on. Is that someone slowing ahead? That was Connie Campbell ahead. I thought she was going quite slower than usual. Of course, she's going very slowly as Connie Campbell. Has she got an issue or something? She's going very slowly for some reason. And that's going to allow Ben Blakemore to have a look down the inside, but is not quite able to. It has to back off. But it seems Connie Campbell has a little bit of an issue. Of course, Joe Rocky hoping for his second KSR Indy 500 win after winning in 2014. But the thing is, Jack Baldwin is going so close. I think he needs to back off as he got battling at the back of the field. Tucson trying to get past Williams. I mean, the amount of cars still got running won't indicate it's been, but it all happened in the first 10 laps when we lost 12 cars. As Blakemore has managed to get past Campbell, who for some reason is going really slowly. Not sure what the reason is, but now Quintanilla's got very close. Campbell goes to the inside to defend. Chandler gets past Mungle. Oh, there was contact there. Chandler keeping the car under control. That was quite a spectacular moment there. Let's have a look. Oh, that was Mungle really cutting across, and Chandler doing a great job to keep control of the car. But we saw a lot of the key runners getting taken out in the early stages, like the likes of Hardy, Coombs, drivers who could get some movement through the field, and we basically lost Essiers for some reason. In the speed traps, he is very poor. It's clearly a problem with his car. There's no reason why he can be that other reason why he can be that much slower than anyone else. But he's just keeping going. For now, as he's hoping that the problem will fix itself, or there will be safety car or cautions that will put him into maybe still getting a result. Oh, Bowen's taken the lead, finally! Lockie's in the pits. That's interesting. Here we go. Lockie has pitted and Bowen going that extra lap. Jack Baldwin is going that extra lap to see if an extra lap on light fuel is going to rocket him up the order. He's still pounding round, is Jack. On a light fuel load. Oh, Joe Lockie's out for some reason. Oh! The race leader's out! Contact with Wise. That was his unsafe release. And now that's taken him out of the race. They're all coming in, but with unsafe release. Taking the leader right out of contention. To be honest, I think they only have himself to blame for that. Have the Lockie team. And almost happening between Wondergala and Hawk. But here, as fuel is involved, a later stop can help. So it's the likes of Chandler. And that's going to be interesting to see where Chandler's going to come out. He can still continuing round, is James. And this is where the order can really change. Especially if Baldwin gets caught up in traffic. But he's on his own now, but on a heavy fuel load, so the speed that he'll be pulling will be a lot less than the likes of James Chandler, Harvey Williams, Matthew Towson, Kieran Wigglesworth, Phoebe O'Connor and Will Essie, who still haven't stopped yet. And Chandler continuing to stay out. That's interesting. James Chandler's still staying out in the... Oh, he has actually been in. They have all actually been in. Not sure how that's happened. In the turn of events, Chandler takes the lead. I think it was just the overcut. Or actually, I think Chandler was one of the drivers that had damage in the early stages. But they're out of sync with the rest. I think Chandler is a driver that's basically out of sync with the rest. I'm not sure if he actually pitted in after the pile-up. We need to actually have a look. Yeah, he did. So they're in a different race. The likes of Chandler, they will be in soon. Same with O'Connor and Esley. So it's still effectively Baldwin is into the lead. But it's going to be interesting to see where they're all going to end up as the race goes. Because they could really play a major factor. On different fuel loads, they're all going to be faster. As now Chandler, who's lapping a couple of cars. Especially if safety cars get involved. So Baldwin currently the de facto race leader. Blakemore is currently the de facto second. So at the moment it's actually de facto Manic 1, 2, 3. Or is it? Because Rosie O'Driscoll is going to try it round the outside. And she has made it past Connie Campbell. And now she's going to try to get past Ben Blakemore. So at the moment Baldwin has quite a lead at the moment. After Joe Lockie managed to take himself out of the race with an unsafe release on Amelia Wise, which really did cost her. "20 cars still in this race. Out of the 33 we had start the race. Essie's in. And is that Chandler? Yep, that is Chandler. So Chandler into the pits. So it's going to be where Essie comes out. Where the reference is going to be. Well, he's going to come out at the back. So where is Chandler going to come out? That's the big question. Tewson's in. So's Wigglesworth. Those extra laps. Is Baldwin going to be ahead? This could be quite close, actually. It's going to be a race at the end of pit lane. And Chandler's got it, but he's got the pit exit to do. And Chandler is going to just lose out here. So actually having to pit under the safety car benefited him. He's up to second. Couldn't quite get into the lead of the race. But he's going to fall under pressure here from Ben Blakemore. Of course, with losing momentum, exiting the pits, and Blakemore's going to get through. As is O'Driscoll. And of course, on the heavier fuel load, he's going to struggle for pace a little bit. Oh, O'Driscoll trying to get past Blakemore. Because I think she could possibly go after Baldwin. If she could get the Manic Motorsports car out of the way. As Shana on the heavier fuel really strong. This is where things are going to get very interesting. Here. When you've got a slower car on heavier fuel, obviously because of that. Because of being on heavier fuel. He's going to be getting in the way of everyone. So we're almost a quarter of the way through what has been certainly a very interesting. You've got Quintanilla versus Mungle behind in the battle for fourth. In what really has been an exciting event so far this year. An enduring event as Mungle trying to have a look down the inside of Quintanilla. O'Driscoll's got ahead of Blakemore. That is huge. And Baldwin's there as well. How did Baldwin lose out so fast? I think they both just caused at such a rate. Heavier fuel. Because he pitted later. And O'Driscoll's going to have a chance here. Of passing Baldwin. But Blakemore's going to try. Round the outside. And Blakemore is on the back of Baldwin. And this is where we're going to have really different speeds just because of the fuel load that everyone's on. The drivers who pitted first have an advantage. I wonder when we're going to see our next caution. McFarlane's struggling for place with Rollick there behind. But this could turn out to be a grandstand finish here. As here you've got Kieran Wigglesworth defending from Chantal Hawk. As Blakemore trying to get past Baldwin. And it's all kicking off behind O'Driscoll's struggling for pace now. And Mungle going to the inside, steals there as well. Hawk trying to get past Wigglesworth. Is Baldwin going to be able to defend this time? Blakemore on the inside for the lead. He's not managed to get the exit. And had to back off, which is going to lose him momentum. Wise getting past Montagala in her swan song from racing. So, Quintanilla really strong pace. Such a lower engine though. Is that a problem for Quintanilla? Because he is going very slowly. Mungle gets through. Or was that just a problematic exit that... And now he's got some speed. And he's going to have a look down the inside of Tom Mungle. But not quite able to do it. But now we've got traffic coming up. I'm sure Wesley wasn't expecting to be traffic. But it's just for some reason his car has just not been very quick today. Only doing 225 when the lead is doing 233. As Blakemore going to try to get through. Quintanilla losing ground behind. Is Blakemore going to be able to do it this time? Not quite. The traffic is ahead. And this could cause a bit of a kerfuffle here. If Essie's trying to get out of the way. Of course, currently having a good year is Wesley in CRC. Or good's an understatement, to say the least. Baldwin laps without a problem. But Blakemore is on the outside here, and I think he might be able to make the move here. Going into turn 2. Is he going to try it around the outside? Not quite. As Blakemore is going to try. Campbell gets past Chandler. So, the two leaders going at it. No retirements apart since Joe Lockie. Since the safety car has been very clean. As they're all still battling it out. "63 laps in. Wigglesworth and Bland have been in. Is this the indication of the first of the pit stops? Blakemore has really dropped back. So the likes of Wigglesworth and Bland coming in. Quintanilla losing a handful of positions there. Now you've got Vronick down the inside of Wundagala. O'Driscoll's got ahead of Blakemore. Well, not quite. Baldwin's got a considerable lead at the moment. It's all looking very good for him at the moment. As Campbell's going to try it down the inside. Oh, very close there. That was O'Connor unlapping herself from Connie Campbell. Baldwin's got a good lead at the moment. As there you've got McParland exiting the pits. So the pit stops are very much underway. So when is Baldwin going to come in? As O'Driscoll, is she going to get past Blakemore here? Yes, she is. Great move there from Rosie O'Driscoll. So McParland's been in. O'Connor hasn't. Estley hasn't. It's going to be interesting to see how that's all going to pan out. Estley's seems to be going at Baldwin's pace now. He seems to have found some speed. He seems to have now found some speed. So if there's some cautions, could he possibly make up some positions? He's really found some speed. Vronick has the fastest lap of the race at the moment. I mean, this could all be to do with the tow that he's getting from the leader. everything now starting to get a little processional now. Everyone's just biding their time waiting for the next major event to take place. The next, which I wonder if it will happen in the form of a caution. Bowen's going a long time. So he clearly fueled his car quite heavily. As Campbell's got ahead of Blakemore. Blakemore's in. And that's fascinating. So in comes Ben Blakemore. So, he hits his marks. And Blakemore goes. Oh, Baldwin's in. The leader is in. Oh, McParlin tapping the wall there. I'm trying to get out of the way of a couple of cars. But here comes the race leader. He gets going. And he is going to exit the pits. Ahead of the likes of Blakemore, of course. Essie seems to have really found some pace here. In his SLGP car. So maybe whatever the problem that he was having with his car has fixed. So, is Rosie going to pit this lap? Not quite. She still continues round. The likes of Campbell, Chandler, Mungle continue round. Well, in comes Steele. The question is, when are we going to have our next caution? As McParlin's going to try it round the outside of Lucas Quintanilla. Actually being lapped by Quintanilla. Because Quintanilla's still yet to stop. O'Driscoll still leads the race. We're approaching half distance now. Tucson tries it up the inside of Hawk. Wise, I think, who's a lapped car, nicks through. As O'Driscoll leads the race still. But when are we going to see pit stops? as O'Driscoll puts a lap on Esley, who's now battling it out with Phoebe O'Connor, and that is actually his race. A race that he is legitimately in. Oh, the leader's in. And this is interesting. Because will those extra laps on light fuel have ricocheted him up the order? A load of cars coming in. Careful, oh, she might have to wait here. She's had to wait for the likes of Hawk. And that could cost her dearly. There is Baldwin coming through. Is she going to get ahead? She might still get ahead here. On the heavier fuel. And she actually is going to get ahead of Jack Baldwin. Or is she? Because Baldwin has the line. And he stays in the lead of the race. So, Baldwin maintains the lead. But now this puts James Chandler into the lead. But he still has to stop. As out of the pits. Because I believe that is, I'm not sure who that is. In the Tove coming out of the pits, because Tom Mongle, I think that is Tom Mongle. But this puts James Chandler back in the lead of the race. Matthew Toussaint's in second, but they're all in different races. And now Connie Campbell, who I believe hasn't stopped yet for the second time. Actually, she has. So Connie Campbell has actually managed to get ahead of Rosie O'Driscoll. But O'Driscoll is right behind. Is she going to have a look down into here? And is she going to be able to make it work? Not quite. But if we do have a caution, that really will throw the race upside down. So, James Chandler currently leads the way. We've got some battling ahead. As the race is still settling down. Still got a full 118 laps still to run here at Indy. In the 20th running of the KSR Indy 500. And Rosie O'Driscoll losing out to a back marker. And that's going to cost her time. I think that is Phoebe O'Connor. James Chandler leads the race in the JPM. Walesi has found some pace, but the trouble is for him now, if there's a caution, then he's lapped. As Chandler leads the way. Now I'm just looking at a replay. Chandler's car is really just gripping the ground. Oh, Chandler's in! This is where it's going to get interesting. Have those extra laps again worked for him? There's Tucson into the pits. I think he did have to wait a little bit there for Tucson. Did James. You didn't see where Tucson, because he seems to be back in this race after his dramas. I think Chandler is actually going to be in the lead here, but of course on the heavier fuel load, he's going to struggle. There is Chandler. And this is going to be very close here between... And Baldwin's going to get ahead here. So Baldwin gets ahead. Chandler is in this race for the win. Chandler, though, is in this race. This could be a good day for the Dork Junior driver. I mean, yes, he's going to be struggling for pace now, but to when the pace is going to come, as you've got really intense side-by-side action between Hawk and Tucson. With Wise involved in this. As you've got Baldwin in the lead of the race. So, Baldwin leads. It's been a very interesting, fascinating KSR Indy 500 here. As Quintanilla and Mungle battle it out. Quintanilla on the heavy fuel load. This colourful group of cars. As Connie Campbell has managed to get ahead of Chandler. Of course, in the heavy fuel loads. Oh! Chandler struggled to get past. O'Connor, that's what did it. And now he's got the likes of O'Driscoll and Essie trying to unlap himself. In this great field of drivers we've had here today. In what has been an interesting KSR Indy 500. I'm surprised we have not seen a second caution yet. It's just a question of when we are going to see that happen. The drivers have been well behaved so far. So, oh, Baldwin's in for the third time. The race leader. That's actually quite soon. Going for a stint on light fuel. Was Jack Baldwin, of course, trying to cover off because he knows that it seems that this race could be between him and James Chandler for the win. As Baldwin using a little bit of the exit stuff there. Of course, struggling on the heavy fuel load. Campbell is in the lead of the race at the moment, but of course on a very different strategy to Chandler, so Chandler will get ahead at some point. And Campbell's struggling a little bit to defend from O'Connor. Oh, that is contact! Chandler almost going into the wall there. Had he lost control? There's Essie trying to get past O'Connor in the Alibi Racing. So, lap 95 of 200. So here is Jack Baldwin, who's obviously got to do these good laps. When is the likes of Campbell going to come in? Mungle and O'Driscoll are battling. But we've seen some very behaved drivers today since the first lap pile up, or the early pile up in the race. David Bland into the pits. So Campbell leads the race. With 20 cars still on the track. As here you've got Steele ahead of Rolex in the black and red Rolex racing car. And that's Wigglesworth who's being lapped. Rolex is in the Entity. Tucson gets caught. O'Driscoll's dropping down the order now. I think she's coming out of the fight for a win here. But a caution would really benefit Jack Baldwin. Oh, that was so close to contact there. No Driscoll and Esley, and then Mungle gets through. Among the 33. Jack Baldwin is progressing through the field after his pit stop. Now behind Harvey Williams in his Manic Motorsports teammate. And that's actually Campbell. Of course, you can lose a lap in the pits here. In fact, a caution at this point, with Baldwin a lap down from the leader, that would really cost Jack Baldwin. A caution now. So we're half distance in this race. We don't know who's actually leading the race or who's just in de facto lead at the moment. As Baldwin unlaps himself. Well, he hasn't quite managed to do that yet. Baldwin really using some of the grass there at speed. So that 102 of 200 here at Indy. Is Baldwin going to get through this time? Not quite. In this KSR Indy 500. Down the main straight. At this historic oval. Chandler holding second from Quintanilla. Quintanilla starting to come back into this race now. So O'Connor's actually then got ahead of Baldwin, the race leader. Oh, Baldwin really having to correct there. Of course, on the heavy fuel, a caution now would be costly. Wise has dropped down to 60. I'm not sure why that's happened. Quintanilla going to try it round the outside. And this is actually Baldwin having to move over for them. As a lapped car. Chandler drops down to fourth, but obviously he's going longer. As he puts a lap on Jack Baldwin. Alright, back and I'll be calling the rest of the action for you. You can obviously watch this scrap of position. They're all still pounding round at the moment. As out of the pits comes Max von der Gala. Is he actually going to be ahead of Baldwin here? Because Baldwin's so stuck in all this, Baldwin's going to lose out here. Baldwin has really lost out. Von der Gala's ahead. Getting stuck in all that traffic has not paid dividends for him. We've got a load of cars coming into the pits. Blakemore, I think, is going to be ahead as well. Or is he? Von der Gala has got both. As Baldwin's now going to get through on Blakemore, because obviously Blakemore on the heavy fuel. Still waiting for Campbell to come in. Now, I think I think Chandler's now really got a good chance here. Matthew Tewson could possibly win. Considering that he is right behind James Chandler. And he is in the same race as him. And is Matthew Tewson going to get through? Not quite. Where's Tewson come from? I mean, Tewson's now starting to really lose out in the traffic. Oh, there goes Hawk! Hawk goes into a spin! And is that going to take any other cars with her? Did she manage to recover? Oh, that will definitely be a caution here! And that is going to play into the hands of the likes, if you're Connie Campbell, that is absolutely perfect. It was going to happen at some point. We have our next caution. Blakemore's out of the race. Baldwin's out. Having looked so good for the win, Hawk is out. Oh no! So we do have a caution. Caution after it was Hawk that got out of shape. So now on we're just making sure that everyone's going to catch up to the safety car. And they're all having to slow down, being forced to slow down here. We saw... Oh, that'll probably be a red flag, to be honest. After everyone having to back up. Being forced to back up due to the caution. And what's this? Red flag! We have a red flag here at Indy. But we need to have a look at what happened with the remaining 85 laps we still have to go that we're going to have in this red flag. We need to actually have a look at what happened. No strangers to red flags, that is the KSR Indy 500. But let's have a look at what happened in the incident. So Hawk tried it round the inside of Tucson. They're all backing up. She went onto the curb and then tried to keep control, but eventually couldn't manage. And then she got clipped. And this is just chaos. So we've got 75 laps still to go. We need to actually have a look at what the order was before the whole incident. Was, of course, the likes of Hawk and everyone who got taken out in the incident will not be allowed to take the restart. Okay, so, looking at what the order was. So, it's now Campbell that leads the way on the restart. We should be able to get this thing underway shortly. So, it's Campbell that leads the way. Quintanilla in second. Chandler in third. Tucson in fourth, so he's back into this race. Mungle in fifth. Down to 17 cars. Hawk would be in sixth, but having had her car take multiple impacts. So Williams in sixth. Steele in seventh. Her car took multiple impacts, did Hawk. So obviously she won't be able to take the restart. Wondergala in 8th. Rollick in 9th. Everyone will be back on the lead lap. O'Driscoll, who's lost out quite a lot, having been in contention before, is in 10th. James Bell is in 11th. Wigglesworth is in 12th. He's having a good day, steering clear of all the carnage. Wise just managed to recover from it all. Is in 13th. McParland in 14th. O'Connor in 15th. Estes in 16th. Whilst David Bland rounds out the field. Whilst David Bland rounds out the field. And so many cars who have retired from the race. So out of the race is Hawk. Out of the race is Blakemore. We should be able to get this thing underway soon. Out of the race is Baldwin. The remaining 85 laps. Out of the race is Lockie. Wherever he is on the thing. Duran is out. Wimberley is out. Julian is out, of course. This is all in the very early stages. Oakes is out. Woodward is out. Farrow Smith is out. And where's this going to leave it in terms of strategy? Now everyone's on terms with each other. Coombs is out. Kuma is out. Hardy is out. Ifos is out. Buchan's out. And Leggett's out. And then there we have obviously have our remaining we obviously do have our remaining 17 cars. Got 17 cars still running in this race. And it is going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play out. With the red flag. It's going to be Watch Wellesley in this race. In the remainder of this race. But it's good for Campbell. So all the 17 cars that will be taking the restart, with Campbell in the lead, Quintanilla in second, Chandler in third, Tucson in fourth, Mungle in fifth, Williams in sixth, Steele in seventh, Wundergala in eighth, Rodick in ninth, O'Driscoll is 10th, Bell is 11th, Wigglesworth in 12th, then it's Wise, then it's McParland, then it's O'Connor, then it's Esley, and then it's Bland. So we are about to get this thing back underway. Very short red flag period, and we're going to be starting the way that we did before. With the remaining 85 laps here at Indy. We're back underway. So, here we go. Here at Indy. So going around for another lap, then we're going to be back underway. This does count as one of the race laps. That we have here today. But now what Essie's had time to fix whatever's wrong with his car, we should watch him. So I think he could do quite some things in this race. 17 cars in the race still, out of the 33 that started this event around 2 hours ago. We lost 8 cars in the first, on lap 8, in a massive multi-car pile-up. As now we're going to be back underway. Because now everyone's in sync with each other. So now that it can just be a sprint to the flag. Well, we might have some more cautions, but it could be a sprint to the flag here. As the safety car, or the pace car, comes in. And we are underway again. We are underway once more.
Green flag,
Here at Indy. And Quintanilla immediately jumps. Is he going to take the lead here? Yes, I think he is. Quintanilla takes the lead of the race. But Campbell's got the inside. As they head up towards turn 2. Campbell up the tries to get the inside. But Quintanilla takes the lead. Here at Indy. And Tucson's going to get past Campbell as well. He's in this race. He's participated in every single KSR Indy 500 since 2006 as Tucson, but has not won the race yet. And he is going to try all he can, I'm pretty sure. Tucson sets the fastest lap. He could really do well. Look at Wesley. He's up into 13. What a restart from him. He is seething his way through the field. As Wondergala getting overwhelmed there by Steele. Chandler struggling for pace now. Because he was in contention for the win before, but now that safety car has completely ruined all of his chances. Campbell really struggling for pace here. It was turn 1 where the pileup between Hawke and Baldwin and Blakemore happened. It's all really kicking off. And I'll tell you who is progressing really well. It's Will Esley. Trying to stay... Oh, who's that in the wall? That's Wondergala in the wall. Thankfully, he doesn't take anyone with him. Wondergala goes off into the wall. But could we have a caution for that? I don't think we are going to have a caution. Actually, we do have a caution for that. We have a caution for Wondergala going off, but they're racing until they cross the line. So a caution for Max Wondergala. Who's into the wall. Who's gone into the wall. And this will allow him back. So we're having basically effectively our third caution of the race. If you count the red flag as a caution. But let's have a look at what happened there to Max Wondergala. When he obviously went off into the wall. So, just touched the grass too heavily and then went straight off into the wall. He's still in this race though, is Max. And thankfully, he went to the outside, so he didn't take any other cars with him. And if that was a car at the front of the pack, that could have so easily taken other cars with them. Those sorts of accidents that take other cars with them in IndyCar. As Quintanilla currently leads the way. In what certainly has been an interesting KSR Indy 500. So, the safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap. With the caution. Our third caution of the race. We went over. We went around 70 like 80 laps without a caution. Before, are we going to get to the end of the race? There's the skid marks from where Wondergala went off. But we're going to have the green flag back out again. As they cross the line again. Safety car's in. And the green flag is back out. Wondergala into the pits. And Quintanilla immediately going to the inside to cover off Tucson. And that has put him off. And now Campbell is going to try it up the inside of Tucson. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Forced onto the grass there is Campbell. But Tucson's going to try. And oh, Quintanilla really trying to edge him onto the grass. And this can allow Tucson into the lead here. Tucson takes the lead of the KSR Indy 500 2016. And Mongol gets through into second. Quintanilla's lost 4 positions. As Mongol's going to take the lead. Wondergala's there as well. Essie's up into 10th. And now up into 9th and 8th. Look at him go. Will Esley. He's on a charge. Is Will Esley. Wesley's on an absolute charge. Tell you what, I think he could play a big part in this race as Harvey Williams is now involved. Campbell's dropped to 7. Quintanilla right behind James Chandler. Wondergala still in the pits. Chandler gets past Williams. And Quintanilla gets through as well. As Wondergala, his race is more or less done in terms of what result he's going to get. Wesley up into 7th now, ahead of Harvey Williams, now behind Connie Campbell and James Bell. Where is Wesley going to go? He is absolutely charging. He is... Now the car has been fixed, he is someone we have to watch. If he... Of course, don't want to get too overambitious for him, but if he can win this race, then that would be one of the best comebacks in history. Quintanilla's found some pace. Esley round the outside of Connie Campbell. He is scything his way through the field. Now he's got James Bell ahead. He has found some speed. Quintanilla behind Chandler. Is Esley going to be able to get it around the outside? Yes, he is. Wow. Other people seem to have lost momentum doing that. But he is just on fire at the moment, is Esley. Steele sets the fastest lap. The car just looks so planted at the moment. As Quintanilla trying to get past Chandler, trying to nudge him. But I think they both know they've got the reigning CRC champion catching them at a rate of knots. As Jesse J. McParlin gets very slow off of the final corner. As James Bell now really struggling with losing momentum. Wise gets through. O'Driscoll gets through as well. As Esley really trying. To close onto Lucas Quintanilla onto the grass. He's really risking everything to get this place, this Lucas Quintanilla. But it's not quite able to do it. Esley, I think his problems have returned though, I think, with Esley. Because he seems to be really struggling. A full 10 mile an hour slower. I think Will's problems have returned. As now Steele's going to try to get back through, but Esley won't let her. But it's just... He was on fire for a moment there. Mongol attacking Tucson. Bit of server lag there. Could cause some problems for drivers if they pit. When Jagala's 2 laps down. Esley really under pressure from Williams here. They are both reading in Quintanilla now. I think Quintanilla's struggling for pace a little bit. David Bland and Kieran Wigglesworth in combat. These guys and girls jostling for position. Not sure if Esley's issues have resolved himself, but Quintanilla's really struggling now to get some speed. Never asked it to record, that's why it was lagging so much. Who's that going out of the pits? That's McFarlane going out of the pits. Not sure why she had to come in. Just scheduled that one was. Williams got ahead of Esley. And it's behind Quintanilla. They're both battling ahead. Esley really struggling as Wise tries to get down the inside. As Quintanilla defending from Williams. Chandler ahead. Tucson and Mongol in the lead. "62 laps to go." Quintanilla's got ahead of Chandler. Now that happened. Rosie O'Driscoll's coming back into this. Starting to come round. Oh, very close for comfort ahead. Between Chandler and Quincy. And Esley's going to get through all of them! What a move from Esley! Was he gonna, is he ahead of Chandler? Not sure. He's got the inside and that's going to lose him momentum. But he's still managed to keep some speed trying to make that move. Very instinctive driving there from Will. And now he could draft past the pair of them here. He doesn't want to risk anything. Oh, this is so close racing. But he can't quite get through. Campbell's in this battle as well. And Wise gets into this as well. Are we going to see any moves here? Esley and Williams go to the inside. And Wise gets round Esley, and he's going to get round Williams. He's going to get round Williams as well. The driver who was on pole. It's all kicking off. As Chandler and Wise battle it out. Wise gets through on Chandler, and now he's going to get through on Quintanilla maybe. In a classic KSR Indy 500. Oh, who's that exiting the pits? I think that's O'Driscoll. As Essie gets past Williams, and the car may not be quick round here for some reason, but his overtaking is top notch as Will. As Chandler and Essie get past Wise, who was very slow off the final corner. Essie's going to try to get a move on Chandler. Oh, Mungle's taking the lead. We didn't see that. Oh, that's just happened. We didn't see where this happened. Happened with Wondergala. So Tom Mungle leads. But is Tucson going to try it back around the inside? Not quite, and now he's lost bucket loads of time. And Esley gets through on Chandler. Chandler has to back off there. And now Esley's going to try to get past Quintanilla to see if he can get into a podium position. Already trying! He's the only driver today that we've seen absolutely committed to making moves. But he loses momentum there and has lost out to Chandler. Oh, Mungle's in. Wise has been in and out. That's interesting. As Quintanilla, Chandler and Esley still battle it out. White is struggling. As is Chandler. Oh, is Esley going to try it around the outside there? We're in the closing stages of this race. Now. Tucson's in. So, is that extra lap going to work for him? Not as good a stop for him as for Mungle. Where is Tom? It easily works for him. So Tucson remains in the lead. There's going to be the likes of Quintanilla. That's going to be interesting. But there is Tom Mungle. And Mungle's through. So it's this lot that could really make things interesting as Esley gets round the outside of Chandler. Which ones are going to come in? None of them for the moment. Esley. Trying to get past Quintanilla, and this is for the lead of the race at the moment, but of course the likes of Mungle and Tucson have pitted. These two haven't, and they're going to be lapping a lot faster considering they're on lighter fuel. As Essie, is he going to commit this time? Once again, like we've seen him do before. Well, Quintanilla shut the door, so he couldn't really. Commit. Essie's really trying there. He's got some good pace now. And he really is in this race for the win. He's just trying to find that exit. And release himself because he has got some good pace. Is that Tucson in again? What has happened? Why is Tucson coming in again? Clearly going for a short stint. There must be a problem with the car. Maybe he's trying to get some good pace for the end. Bland has got past James John, and so has Phoebe O'Connor is in there as well. But Esley is stuck behind. Chandler gets past. Esley is stuck behind Quintanilla. Both going very close together. When is one of these going to pit? How this race is panning out at the moment. It's Tom Mungle who's the definite favourite to win. Quintanilla's in. That is fascinating. Here we go. A long trek down pit lane. So when's he going to get going? He gets going now. Where is Mungle? Mungle's there. I think he's going to be ahead, of course. Yeah, Mungle's ahead. Essie in. How has that extra lap worked? for him. Having really got his elbows out in that stint. That was a good stint from him. But he's having to wait for a whole load of cars. He's eventually able to go. Esley's going to be racing Quintanilla. At the moment, he's way ahead, but of course, momentum is at the moment going to be in Quintanilla's favour here. Quintanilla's going to have the momentum and the lighter fuel as well, but I think Esley's ahead. So he's into second of the KSR Indy 500. But of course, on the heavy fuel load, he's going to really struggle. Quintanilla gets through. But I just wonder, can Esley, can he actually win this race, considering his pace in this section of the race? Considering his pace, particularly if there's a caution involved as well, I think Esley could have a chance here. Mungle's yet to stop for a second time. So Mungle leads. But I think Esley could have a chance. We have 17 cars still in this race. It all started with a massive 8-car pileup. And with a massive, or it was a 6-car pileup from this race in this lull in proceedings. Just going to take, because I'm getting a lot of viewers now, just to take everyone through the story of this race that's happened so far. So, in the early lap, in the first part of the race, before the red flag, that's going to show what cars retired. In the early part of the race, we had a massive multi-car collision where we lost Abby Leggett, Marco Efos, Will Buckens, Siddhartha Kuma, Matt Coombs, Kieran Hardy, Jade Oates, and Tom Farrar-Smith. Well, Matt Coombs and Jade Oates and Tom Farrar-Smith were a completely separate incident as Harvey Williams drafts past. And then we had an interesting race where it was Joe Lockie who led the way, and then an incident in the pit lane. Then completely dropped him down the order, or took him out of the race. An incident in the pits. And then it was Jack Bourne who leads. There were times where it looked like Rosie O'Driscoll was coming into the race for the win, but she eventually, not sure what actually happened to her, why she has dropped so far down the order. She's in 8th at the moment. What's happened to Tom Mungle? I was so busy. I think he pitted. I was so busy describing the race, I didn't notice. So Mungle in the pits. Quintanilla still leads the race. So this is getting interesting now. Because Quintanilla... But where are the likes of... Because Mungle and Tucson, who are in a different race of theirs, are they going to go to the end? The likes of Tucson and Mungle. Because if they do, then they could have a chance. I think it's this race is going to be between... Either a battle between Tucson and Mungle. This could get fascinating in the closing laps here today. This could get really exciting. As James Chandler gets past Connie Campbell. Shouts out to Kieran Wigglesworth. I mean, he's not been known very much in the KSR sim racing world. I mean, he's in KSR Formula V8, but currently running in 8th, ahead of the likes of O'Connor and McParland. Kieran Wigglesworth doing a good job in the Frolic racing car. But now we have a bit of a lull in proceeding. Actually, we do have action here. This is between Harvey Williams and Will Esley. James Chandler getting through as well. And now James Chandler just was something. I'm glad there isn't George Chandler in the race as well, because that would have been a commentator's nightmare. Speaking of George Chandler and the series that he's in, tomorrow, of course, and tomorrow and Sunday we have the finale of the KSR Formula E series, which takes place tomorrow, to see if Peter James can take this championship. And then, of course, we have next week we do have the CRC race. We do obviously have the CRC race in Canada to see if Will Esley can defend his championship lead. A big lead in the championship Will Esley's got. That Will Esley's got at the moment. Amelia Wise has managed to get past James Bell. James Bell's into the pits. But now this is the closest battle on the track. This is between James Chandler and Will Esley. But this could... It's going to be when Quintanilla pits. That is when it's going to get really exciting. Because he's on a lighter fuel load. O'Driscoll's managed to get past Bland. And Bland is now under pressure from Kieran Wigglesworth, who's doing a fantastic job. Bland trying to get round the outside, but that's not going to work out because Wigglesworth is going to get through. Is he going to be able to get past O'Driscoll? I mean, if he can do that, passing someone who, at the status of O'Driscoll, considering how well O'Driscoll's done in CRC so far this year, that would definitely do well to put his name in lights for Wigglesworth. Now Bland behind O'Driscoll. But we need to look at the battle for second, because that's where it's really kicking off. James Chandler still right behind. So, 30 laps still to go. We still don't know who's going to win this race. I think Esley's out of it. But if we have a caution, that could put Esley back into it. A caution, though, if you're Tom Mungle, that is exactly what you'd want. But everyone's got to pit still. Bland and O'Driscoll continuing their fierce battle. Campbell's in there as well. Bland getting round the outside of Campbell. O'Driscoll's going to try as well. Let's have a look at how this all started off. How Bland managed to actually get past the pair of them. Great driving there from David Bland in the Frolic Tove. This is a really exciting battle here. Bland goes to the inside to defend. Campbell gets around the outside and Bland has to back off. That really lost him momentum there. Is Essie going to be under pressure here from Chandler still? The question is Tucson actually going to have to pit again? Because I think he may have done it a little bit early. I mean, maybe he was trying to get some pace at the end. It's only him and Mungle that have been in twice. Or not just him and Mungle. Him, Mungle, Bell, Wondergala have been into the pits twice. Chandler going to try to get past Essie. It all is starting to calm down a little bit with the remaining laps. It all started, of course, then when I was trying to say the story of the race, then something happened. As I was saying, then there was an incident where Chantel Hawk, Jack Baldwin, and Ben Blakemore came to blows. And then, due to an issue with the safety car, that caused a red flag. So, of course, then we have the remaining 83 laps. Oh, look, it's that Quintanilla ahead. I didn't realise how much they were closing onto Quintanilla. Quintanilla's suddenly struggling a little bit. Oh, Essie down the inside! No! Will Essie lose it? He's going into the wall, and that is going to take James Chandler, but they both get going. Will Essie going off. Clearly damage on both cars. And eventually, he tried a move up the inside that didn't work out. He's still going though, is Will Essie. But he tried it up the inside, a banzai move down the inside of Lucas Quintanilla. And then that could have so easily caused a massive chain reaction behind. The track temperature 29 degrees, which obviously means that the cars will grip the road quicker. James Chandler losing out. Who's that going into pits? That's O'Connor, and I think that is Wigglesworth coming into the pits. So, here you've got the likes of Chandler's into the pits after as Tucson's ahead of Mungle. That is huge. Because if they can go to the end, this puts Tucson in the lead. I think he might have made his pit stop a bit early. Essie's in. So Tucson's ahead. And obviously Essie having a long stop for the damage in that incident. That is him out of the equation for the win. Quintanilla is in. This puts Tucson back in the de facto lead of the race because the likes of Wise, Campbell, Bland and O'Driscoll still have to pit, I think. But where are these guys and girls going to come into this at the end? So O'Driscoll, I thought she was coming into the pits for a moment. Campbell's in, leaving Bland out. Is Wise going to come in? This has been a fascinating KSR Indy 500 here today. So, oh, this is very close. Tucson trying to get past. Quintanilla could come into this, but is Tucson going to have to pit again? O'Driscoll's in. So, O'Driscoll comes out in P6. Is this ahead of Campbell? Way ahead of Campbell. But it's looking, at the moment, it is looking good for Tucson. Never won this race before. Oh, I thought that was some close racing ahead. And Tucson trying to put a lap on Wise. Careful, Tucson. Don't want to ruin it. Mongol's been in for a second time. Surely this means Tucson's going to have to. Surely this means Tucson's going to have to come in for a second time. But it's Tucson who leads, or effectively leads the race. Bland still has to stop, but is Tucson going to have to stop again? And is Quintanilla going to have to stop again? This is going to be very interesting. So, I think this race is between Tucson and Quintanilla now. The 2016 KSR Indy 500. Wigglesworth losing out to Chandler, who's right behind O'Driscoll. This could be an interesting battle for the final podium place here. Chandler, who looks like he might win, but really losing out due to the red flag, the Dork Jr. driver. Actually, the only Dork run cars still running, as Hawk, Duran and Oaks are all out of the race. Oh, this is getting so close. Here between Chandler really trying. Is he going to try and find it around the outside here? Something that Walesi was able to do so many times before he made that mistake. Which put himself out of contention. So Bland still leads. Is being caught up by... He's only been in once, so he's going to have to come in again, I'm pretty sure, soon. But Chandler, still... This is the closest battle on the track at the moment. Oh, we got a lot of action here behind. And this is a great battle here. This is O'Connor, Campbell, McParland. I think that is Bland putting a lap on them all. Oh, cutting across is the Rollick Tove there. So we've got 12 to go in what has been a truly fascinating KSR Indy 500. Tucson, who was nowhere in the early stages, as McParland getting past Wigglesworth, who loses out to Campbell. But will Tucson have to pit? Oh, yes, he is. So that's going to put him out of the equation. So Tucson comes into the pits. He did leave his pit stop too early, and that's going to put him out of the equation for the win. What's happened to Quintanilla is now effectively the race leader, but there's still Bland out there. So, Tucson has really lost out there. He's now down into 13th. Bland into the pit. So he's finally come in. This puts Quintanilla. So this means Lucas Quintanilla is in prime position. But tell you what, Rosie O'Driscoll here is catching. This could be a grandstand finish, I think now. And also, not just O'Driscoll, but Chandler as well. Chandler could come back into this. We have 3 drivers now who could potentially win this race. What a thrilling finish we could have here. As O'Driscoll has got a fantastic exit. Could she take the lead here? Quintanilla goes to the inside. He knows that she's coming. Oh, so close to contact between her and Chandler. Chandler gets through. This is getting really exciting. With 9 laps left to run. O'Driscoll really lost out having to back off there, because that really lost her momentum. That's the trouble. If you back off, then that can lose your momentum for quite some time. As here you've got Chandler. Is he going to be able to have a look round the outside of Lucas Quintanilla? This is turning in to be a grandstand finish here at Indianapolis. O'Driscoll is coming back, but one thing that's not going to help her is if Max Wundergala goes to unlap himself. And that's something that could really cost her. As Essie and Steele battle it out. So, 8 laps to go in what has been a fascinating... O'Driscoll is really losing out. As Chandler, is he going to do it this time? Is he going to try it round the outside of Lucas Quintanilla? Lucas Quintanilla knows it's coming, but he's going to try. He's going to keep the position. Lucas Quintanilla is absolutely soaking up pressure like a sponge here. Lucas Quintanilla is soaking up pressure like a sponge. James Chandler right behind the Dork Jr. So it's Lucas Quintanilla. So the 3 drivers who could win this race. Lucas Quintanilla, who had such a competitive year in CRC last year. Not so good this year so far. James Chandler, former iRacing driver. Now a Dork Jr. And Rosie O'Driscoll, who's been the rookie sensation so far of CRC 2016. 3 very competitive drivers. 5 to go. Just 5 laps to go. And there's traffic. That's Joey Brolick. Joey Brolick trying to get out of the way. And that could really cost Chandler. That's going to really cost James Chandler. And this has given Quintanilla a bit of a buffer. So close there to contact. And this allowed O'Driscoll to escape from Wundergala's clutches. Which has really been costing her. Now Brolick and Wundergala are going to battle it out. So 4 to go. To be honest, I think it might be a bit... 3 to go. I think it might be a little bit of a tall order for O'Driscoll. But if these two take each other off, then O'Driscoll could capitalise. But I think it's between these two for the win. And look at the run. This is the best chance that he's going to get here. Is he going to be able to get round the outside going into turn 3? I think that is. Not quite. These two are getting away. Penultimate lap here in what has been in a grandstand finish here at Indianapolis for the 2016 KSR Indianapolis 500. What could be a grandstand finish. What could be a real... Oh, very close to contact there between O'Driscoll and Brolick. O'Driscoll's struggling for pace now. I think she's out of this unless these two take each other off. So, final lap. Is Chandler going to be able to do anything? Desperacy is going to get involved here. As Quintanilla goes to the inside to defend. Chandler's not in the slipstream, and that really benefits Quintanilla. So now into the final corner. Is it going to be? It's going to be Lucas Quintanilla who is going to win the 2016 KSR Indy 500. What a race! Lucas Quintanilla is the 2016 KSR Indy 500 champion. What a finish to this race! It got a bit processional towards the middle, but what a finish! It is Lucas Quintanilla who is victorious here at Indy. So, everyone comes into the pits. Lucas Quintanilla is going to get into victory lane here at, obviously, like they would in the real Indy 500. In the real Indy 500 as they're going to do on Sunday. But in an exciting KSR Indy 500 that we have had here today. It is Lucas Quintanilla who is victorious here at Indy. And that is what a way to put your name in lights there. Someone who's now waiting for the opportunity for a top drive in CRC. That is definitely going to help. But the final classification is about to be on the KSR Indy 500 Twitter. Of course, it won't include all the drivers who retired prior to the red flag. But what a thrilling KSR Indy 500. What a finish. And it was really, I mean, in the end, there were a few pile-ups, but there were some interesting battles throughout the race that were very clean. Despite the fact that we did have that pile-up at the start. As the party is at Victory Lane, where Lucas Quintanilla is about to go, the 2016 KSR Indy 500 champion. But what a thrilling race that we just saw here today at Indianapolis. as the party is composing. So, as the party is going to welcome Lucas Quintanilla has got out of his car and he is going to celebrate. This is going to be an enjoyable moment for Lucas Quintanilla, who is the 2016 KSR Indy 500 champion. But what a drive. He really did deserve that. I mean, he did fall away a little bit in the middle of the race, but then he just came back fighting. There was a surprise. I'd say, actually, I mean, there's not really much attention paid. I did give him a few shout-outs. But I think the biggest surprise of the race, Kieran Wigglesworth in 6th. Great drive from him to take 6th place. Fighting against, maybe he could be in CRC sometime in the future. But as the party is about to leave, I will have to wrap up in a minute in what was a very interesting race. I will have to wrap up in a moment. In a fantastic KSR Indy 500, it is Lucas Quintanilla who is champion here at Indy. It is Lucas Quintanilla who is the 2016 KSR Indy 500 champion. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, for more action on this YouTube channel, we obviously have the KSR Formula E race, the 2 KSR Formula E race, which takes place tomorrow and Sunday. And to see the championship decided, to see if Peter James can win the title. And then, of course, next week we have the CRC season continuing with the Canadian Grand Prix to see if Woodesy can maintain his championship lead. My voice is really tired after all that shouting. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you, of course, as far as KSR Indy 500 is concerned, we'll see you in 2017. But for more KSR action, we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.